Hello everyone, I'm MrFrogger, and today I will be sharing with you 5 tips for making your Minecraft path better in about 5 minutes. So we have laid out a basic path in Minecraft, but we can make this better. Tip number 1 is your block palette. For this block palette, I will be using the same palette I'm using in my SMP build, and that is Paths, Coarse Dirt, Mossy Cobble, and Jungle. But I recommend picking a path block palette that works in the build area your path will be in. Once you've picked out your block palette, just start replacing blocks in your path. Trying to keep things as random as possible so as to not draw the eye too much. Now that we have a difference in our block palette, it is time to work on tip number 2, which is direction. Making the path change direction and meander will just add an extra level of life to it. Here you can just experiment with the direction and the meandering nature of your path. Let it just feel right, and you can always change it if not. Step number 3 after our directional change is to add a bit of elevation, and that comes in 2 aspects. First aspect, we can add some elevation in the blocks themselves by dropping them down, and secondly, we can add some elevation in the whole area with regards to terraforming. Adding block elevation can also be done with trapdoors and carpets. For terraforming, you also want to consider your bigger plans for the area and make sure it still fits. The next thing to consider when working on your path is what will be in the surrounding areas. Maybe you'll have a build or a tree or a pond that you have this path to go to or around, and you need to keep that in consideration. Unlike with this example, most real builds will be in place first and then the paths come later. But the thought process is the same. Make sure you leave yourself enough space and you connect everything you want to via the path. So now our path walks past our very basic pond, a very basic tree, and curves up towards our incredibly basic house. But the whole point is we kind of can fit our path around the items in it. And the final tip is the decor and the details. There is no such thing as too many leaves, and we can really transform this area. These details are heavily inspired from Good Times with Scar. We're using green concrete powder, plenty of leaves, and a lot of moss to break up the grass texture. We are then adding another hit of colour with a wide selection of tulips. And with those 5 tips, I was able to convert a boring straight path into an overgrown, luscious path area with a few very basic details and builds. So I hope you've enjoyed today, and yeah, if you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. Give me a comment about your best tip for building paths, and if you're new here, please do consider subscribing. It does mean so much. And until next time, bye bye!